You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm sick of all this. I'm tired of all these tier lists. I'm tired of every other thing I see being about broken Heizu builds. I'm tired of spiral abyss optimization so that I can burst iframe through the most annoying attacks in this game. Meta this, meta that. Have you even met a girl? Cause I definitely haven't. But I know exactly what Genshin players want, and that's to be told that your favorite waifu is actually the greatest character ever created in gaming history. And that's what we're gonna do today. My name is Rain, and I'm about to gaslight you into believing that your favorite character in Genshin Impact is actually the most broken character in the game. But we're not doing all of them. I'm kind of hungry, so we're not doing all of them. Jean may honestly be one of the most underrated 5 stars in the game? Question mark? Or at least the one that's least talked about? Exclamation point? The Grandmaster has exceptional healing with her burst that also functions as a swirl magnet and resistance shredder, as well as the fact that she can heal the party with her normal attacks, and we all know that every human's fantasy is to heal their pain by inflicting it onto others. What? You can also build her as a physical DPS if you want to roleplay her as an unhinged Jean who has finally lost her shit with the entirety of the Knights of Favonius. Kaeya, I'm going to ask you for the last time, where the fuck are the horses? Or given that her signature weapon literally becomes a lightsaber at a high enough level and her elemental skill is basically a force push, why don't you just roleplay being a Jedi for a while? Who doesn't like that? Or a Sith Lord, depending on how you play this game, I guess. The last Outrider, Amber, is the first non-traveler playable character that you get, and she's got a few tricks up her sleeve, as well as the most adorable plushie in the world. Amber's elemental skill can draw aggro away from the enemies, and do you know what happens when the enemy is hitting something else? They're not hitting you. I know, it's mind-blowing.
Wow. What the fuck is this?
Also mind-blowing because Baron Bunny explodes like a Call of Duty mine after some time. So while the Hilichos are distracted by twerking Build-A-Bear, you can pick them off safely. Amber's burst being an AoE rain of fire arrows is an easy way to set off a good number of reactions as well. But most importantly, Baron Bunny is the cutest thing in the world that easily puts her in S tier, I don't care. The Librarian of the Knights and Electro Shock Therapist Lisa is an Electro AoE queen. Both her held elemental skill and elemental burst practically summon Zeus and give everyone a bit of a tingle.
Come a little closer.
What do you mean by that?
With her burst also being a lingering flower, lantern thing that constantly zaps opponents, not only becoming a godsend for any electro reactions, but also shredding their defense and seeing how kinky your enemies are.
Huh?
Now, who actually wrote the script for this video? Oh yeah, I did, shit.
You've been a naughty.
Using her skill as a tap rather than holding it, as well as using her charged attacks, can also give enemies a stack of the conductive status, which increases the damage that her held elemental skill would do based on how many stacks they have, which can turn a little taser shock into a Raiden situation. When I say like Raiden situation, I don't mean like the Raiden from this game, not the Raiden from Metal Gear either. I mean like the Raiden from Mortal Kombat, like the Electro God. I'm gonna console that. Yeah, that Raiden.
Try not to enjoy this too much.
And if anything, Lisa also seems like she's enjoying herself, which...
Come a little closer. Surrender and be gentle. You're in for a little shock. Let's spark things up a little.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa, you do you, I guess. You do you.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
You will definitely find a spark with this witch. No, not like that, not like that. And playing her will guarantee that there will be electricity in the air. Not like that either. Hold on. Kaeya is literally a cryo reaction button. You can literally treat him as a snow cone machine if you want to. His elemental skill, which lets him just sneeze ice into an enemy, is not only quick to come out, but also has a really low cooldown, meaning you can just get very easy cryo reactions. Whether that be a quick freeze, a melt, a shatter, whatever you need, he's on the job. Also, yeah, I bet you forgot shatter is an actual reaction. How many of you actually even knew in the first place that shatter was an actual reaction in this game?
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
His elemental burst takes his cryo application to Winter Wonderland ice rink levels as he gains a swirling ring of icicles around him that remains even when he's off field, just guaranteeing cryo application for anyone around your character. The King of Frost, and the king of most people's hearts, presumably. Despite all the memeing that we do on Barbara, and by we, I mean me specifically, no, you'll never be as tall as G and you are like 3'5". What Barbara does, she actually does pretty well, and that is pure healing. Her elemental skill gives you good healing over time, as well as giving you some Hydra application. You do have to be basically within tit-touching distance for it to work, but if you have a DPS that wants to fight up close and personal, Lisa, please don't get any ideas. The Hydra application can be helpful. Her normal attacks are also just very easy Hydra application for that matter, so it's irrelevant really. Her burst being a massive heal is just that, a massive heal. Do you want me to try convince you that massive healing is bad or something? You stay alive, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's also the only 4-star that has a cinematic burst animation. Like, come on, that's absolutely cracked. They say cracked, right? That's what they say when you're saying like something's good. It's like cracked or broken or something. Barbara provides very consistent healing, and her ult can give a massive pick-me-up when you're in a pinch. Plus the Hydra application is good. Maybe I'll actually go to a concert one day. Maybe. I'm never going to a concert. Diluc is just a very steady and simple hand that you can't really go wrong with. Bruce Wayne has a spammable elemental skill that causes him to basically damage you with pure unadulterated rage. And his elemental burst has him chuck a literal phoenix. Bro's so traumatic. How are you throwing a giant fire pigeon at people? This guy. His burst also gives him Pyro infusion for a bit, for easy reactions and just easy damage. He's a very simple, satisfying character that's going to give you access to very easy damage. And like, come on, you're playing anime Bruce Wayne. Of course you're going to be smiling half the time you spend using him to burn down the countryside. Razer is very... Some of his strengths include... Honestly, he's just so... And really works for someone who wants... Jokes aside, Razer is a physical damage monster. You get it? Because like monster and like wolf. Because of his easy electro application, he can very easily trigger superconduct to increase the physical damage that he does. His elemental skill gives him electro sigil stacks, which increases his energy regeneration rate and makes it so that he can stay in Teen Wolf mode longer. His elemental burst, where he goes Super Saiyan Jacob from Twilight, makes his normal attacks faster, gives you a tag team Wolf who I'm going to call Remus that coordinates electro attacks with you, and more important than anything gameplay wise, just looks sick as hell. And don't tell me that the idea of just clawing at something with a wolf isn't cool. Like, that's cool. I don't care that he looks like if Bear Grylls was in a Legend of Zelda game. That's cool. He's the best boy. Good Lord Barbatos Venti is up there as one of the best crowd control characters in the game. No, Kazuha mans, I see you, but don't put your swords down. But why are you picking up a knife? Hold on, we can talk about it.
As one with wind and cloud.
Venti's elemental burst is the star of the show, drawing enemies in and making smaller enemies suddenly be filled with helium and turn them into a piñata for characters like Ganyu to pick off. His skill also just literally turns him into Peter Pan, like full on take my hand Wendy Bard shenanigans. Yes, Wanda remains, Venti did it first.
Cry louder!
He has a low energy cost for his burst as well, which means Barbatos International Airways are always ready to take off. Venti once again proves what Dungeons & Dragons have proved for years, that drunk bards are the peak of character design. With Klee, you are literally tossing grenades. Do I even have to make a deeper pitch to you than that? You're playing a character that can not only hit you with a functional nuke, but runs like this. I don't need to make an entire PowerPoint presentation on this. You throw grenades at heavy shells. That's enough. Next character. Finally, Pyro Archon 6-star Benjamin. The meat and potatoes is his elemental burst, which both heals and gives a hefty attack boost, which is usually enough to not only sustain your main DPS but also turn them into a DEFCON 5 level dangerous situation. Without charging it, his elemental skill is also quick and has a low cooldown, which makes it really spammable, meaning you can just bring him out to either use it to gain his energy back or to quickly apply Pyro. He's also just very flexible. A lot of teams benefit from having him, and he doesn't really have any abilities besides C6 that would really get in the way of any other party members. Like seriously, you can throw him into anything. You wanna play D-Look? Dash in some Benny. You wanna play Child? Dash in some Benny. You wanna play main DPS Barbara? Firstly, why you like this, but secondly, dash in some Benny. You wanna play Hu Tao, who literally doesn't even want to be healed? Dash in some Benny. Hell, you wanna play Benny? Dash in some Benny. Honestly, him being one of the most useful characters in the game while also being the most unlucky person is honestly one of the most low-key funny undercover jokes in this entire game. But don't worry, everything will come up Bennett one day. But like, not today, or tomorrow, or the next day, or even like next week, or even in 14 business days, or even— And there we have it for now. I hope I've convinced you that your Genshin favorite is actually the most broken character in the game, and if I haven't, well, why would you trust me in the first place? If you liked the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up and tapping that strange red button in case you want to know when I next get up to some shenanigans. But for now, safe tidings, traveler. I'll see you in the next one.